Hello, thanks for being here today. I'm going to walk you through our project for Curzon Cinema. We've been working on something really interesting, figuring out which classic movies Curzon should bring back to the big screen. It's not just about showing old films, it's about creating an experience that streaming services can't match. Our project sounds like which movies to rerun and why, and our team has been tackling this as part of Giant's consulting firm. Let me quickly run through what we'll cover today. First, I'll explain the business context, who Curzon is and what they're trying to accomplish. Then I'll talk about our research plan and how we collected the data. After that, we'll share our analysis and key insights, and finally, we will present our business recommendations. Let's start by talking about our client, Curzon Cinema. If you don't know them, Curzon is a chain of upscale movie theaters in the UK. They've been around since 1934 and have built a strong reputation for showing independent and art house films. Looking at the current market, Curzon's R&D team spotted something interesting. The movie industry is changing. It's not just about showing films anymore, it's about creating a complete experience that people can get at home with Netflix or Disney. So Curzon came up with this idea: why not rerun classic movies? Let people see their favorites on the big screen again, the way they were meant to be seen. There is something special about watching a movie in a theater. The huge screen, the sound, being in a room full of people laughing at the same time. You just don't get that when you're watching films at home. The plan is pretty straightforward. They want to show 12 classic movies over 12 months, one movie per month. But here's where they got stuck. Which movie should they pick? That's where we came in. Our main job was to figure out which movies Curzon should rerun to create a real competitive advantage. It's not just about picking good movies, it's about picking the right movies that will actually get people off their couches and into the theater. To answer this question properly, we needed robust data from multiple sources. We carefully selected 4 platforms that would give us different perspectives on movie popularity and audience sentiment. First, we pulled data from Reddit using their API. We chose Reddit because it's a massive platform for authentic conversation with thousands of communities dedicated to movies. With over 83 million registered users and endless discussion threads, Reddit gives us real-time insights into what movies people are actively talking about. This helped us gauge current interest levels rather than just historical popularity. Second, we use TeamDB, the movie database API. TeamDB is currently the 51st most visited website globally according to SEMrush, with over 10 million titles and 11 million person records. This gave us essential factual data about movies, release dates, box office revenue, genres, and other technical information that creates the foundation of our analysis. For audience sentiment, we scraped data from 2 additional sources. Rotten Tomatoes, one of the most influential review aggregation sites with 83 million monthly visits, gave us a comprehensive view of audience reactions. We also pulled data from Letterboxd, often described as Goodreads for movies, with 47 million monthly visits. Letterboxd represents passionate film enthusiasts who rate, review, and catalog their movie experiences. Looking at our diagram, the left side shows sources that helped us understand current market trends, while the right side represents platforms that provided detailed audience ratings and sentiment analysis. After collecting all this data, we needed to transform it into meaningful insights. We focused on 3 key dimensions. First, we analyzed trendiness using Reddit data. We examined when people were discussing these movies and categorized them based on recency. Looking at the timestamp of each post, we labeled movies with discussions from the past week as trendy, those mentioned in weeks 2-3 as average, and those with older posts as not trendy. We created a relevant score on a scale of 0 to 5 that weighted recent discussions more heavily. Movies with posts primarily in the last week scored near 5, showing they're still part of the cultural conversation. Second, we normalized audience ratings across platforms. Initially, each platform used different scales. TeamDB rates on a 10-point scale, while Letterboxd and Rotten Tomatoes use 5-star systems. We standardized everything to a 0 to 5 scale for fair comparison. Then we created a final weighted score that accounts for each platform's reach and influence. Since these platforms have very different traffic volumes, TeamDB gets significantly more visitors than Letterboxd, for example, We weighted each rating based on the platform's monthly user traffic. When we looked at the numbers, we found some interesting patterns. Certain movies like Fight Club and Shawshank Redemption consistently scored high across all platforms, while others showed more variation depending on the audience. Third, we examined revenue data from TeamDB. We found some movies like Avatar made nearly 3 billion worldwide, while critically acclaimed films like Fight Club earned just over $100 million. This highlighted that box office success doesn't always correlate with long term cultural impact or audience interest in revisiting a film. That's why, in our final scoring model, we assigned revenue the lowest weight. For our purposes, financial performance had to be balanced against current popularity and audience sentiment, with more emphasis placed on these contemporary indicators rather than historical box office figures.
After pre-processing our data, we ranked movies based on two key factors: audience ratings and historical box office revenue. This helped us identify the best candidates for Curson's rerun strategy. The first chart on the left ranks movies by their weighted audience ratings across multiple platforms. Films like The Shawshank Redemption, Schindler's List, and Pulp Fiction received the highest scores, showing strong fan appreciation and lasting appeal. High ratings suggest these films have compelling storytelling and cultural impact, making them strong contenders for re-release. The second chart on the right ranks films by the box office performance. Blockbusters like The Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King, and The Dark Knight King crossed over $1 billion, reflecting their massive commercial success. However, revenue alone isn't a perfect predictor of re-release success. Some high-rated films like The Shawshank Redemption and Fight Club had lower earnings but remained audience favorites. While past revenue highlights financial potential, audience ratings provide insight into long-term popularity. To balance both, we created a final score, weighing audience sentiment at 80% and historical revenue at 20%. Using this metric, we selected our top 12 films. However, we also analyzed genre and release year to ensure a diverse and engaging lineup. A well-balanced selection is key to maximizing audience engagement and avoiding repetition. The first chart on the left shows the genre distribution of our top-rated and high-grossing films. While drama, adventure, and fantasy dominate, there's also a strong representation from action, comedy, thriller, and family films. This diversity ensures broad appeal rather than focusing on a single genre. The second chart on the right highlights the release years of selected films. Our lineup spans multiple decades, from the 1980s with the Raiders of the Lost Ark to the 2000s with The Dark Knight. This approach allows Cursons to attract nostalgic audiences while introducing classics to younger viewers who may have never seen them in theaters. A lineup that leans too heavily on one genre or era could limit reach. By factoring in both genre and release year, we ensure a well-rounded and engaging rerun strategy. Throughout this project, we used a data-driven approach to curate the best films for Curson's rerun initiative. Our goal was to maximize audience interest, revenue potential, and differentiation by evaluating multiple factors. Our final ranking highlights The Dark Knight as a top choice, followed by Schindler's List, then The Shawshank Redemption, and The Lord of the Rings: The Fellowship of the Ring, all of which scored highly in audience sentiment and appreciation. We also ensured a balance of genres and release years to avoid redundancy and expand Curson's audience reach. These rankings serve as a strategic guide, helping Cursons prioritize marketing efforts and maximize attendance. By combining qualitative sentiment analysis with quantitative financial and diversity metrics, we developed a well-rounded, high-impact re-release strategy that sets Curson apart from competitors. This data-backed approach ensures Curson delivers the best possible experience to its audience. To ensure the success of the rerun initiative, we propose the following key recommendations. First, diverse movie selection. Since Curson plans to re-release a film each month, we recommend varying genres and eras throughout the year. This keeps the lineup fresh, attracts different audience segments, and prevents repetition. Second, marketing. Our data shows that strong movie communities are highly active on Reddit. Leveraging this platform will help Curson reach engaged viewers who already discuss and promote classic films. Third, continuous improvement. Tracking audience reactions and ticket sales will allow Curson to refine future selections based on real-time feedback. This interactive approach ensures sustained engagement. And finally, replication. This strategy shouldn't be a one-time initiative. By continuously refining the selection process and learning from each cycle, Curzon can enhance future rerun events and ensure long-term success. By following these recommendations, Curzon can stand out in the market, attract moviegoers seeking a unique cinema experience, and successfully compete in today's evolving entertainment landscape. Thank you very much for your attention.